Hola amigos, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to my channel Hola amigos. Me llamo Ekta. As you know that in my previous session I have covered Días de la Semana and means the days of the weeks. I hope you have seen that session. If not, I'll request you to please watch that video and learn about days of the weeks. In today's session, I will be covering los meses del año, which means the months of the year, like what we will call January, February, March, April in Spanish, so that it will be easy for you to pronounce the same. So vamos a empezar. So the first one is January. So January we will call it in Spanish as enero, enero, enero. Then next is February. February we call it as febrero, febrero. March we call it as marzo, marzo, marzo. The next is April. April is abril, abril. Then May is mayo, mayo. June is junio. In my previous session of Abecitario, I mentioned that J we pronounce it as Kota, so it's junio, junio. Then July is also with J, so it's julio, julio. Then August is agosto, agosto. September is septiembre, septiembre. October is octubre, octubre. November is noviembre, noviembre. So the next is December, which is diciembre. So after D it's I or after C it's I, and which gives you the pronunciation of E. So it's diciembre. So to explain you in a better way, I have jotted down a couple of examples here so that it will be easier for you to frame the sentences using months. Okay. So vamos a empezar. So the first example I have jotted down is su cumpleaños es en septiembre. Su cumpleaños es en septiembre. That means her birthday is in September. Her birthday is in September. So her su birthday we call it as cumpleaños in Spanish. Cumpleaños. So her birthday is in September. September I have already mentioned, we call it as septiembre, and birthday we call it as cumpleaños. So su cumpleaños es en septiembre. Okay, the second example I have jotted down for you guys is en enero hace mucho frío. That means in January it's very cold. Yes, you have to say to somebody that in January it's very cold, and you will use this sentence in Spanish like en enero hace mucho frío. En enero hace mucho frío. Frío is cold, we will mention it as frío. Cold we will mention it as frío, and very will reflect as mucho, mucho. So and generally I have already mentioned you that it will be pronounced as enero. So en enero hace mucho frío means in January it's very cold. So the third example which I have jotted down for you guys is viaje a Paris en mayo. That means I traveled to Paris in May. I traveled to Paris in May. We will use it as this viaje is the viajar verb, which means to travel. So viajar is the verb which we will use for travel. So here I have framed the sentence in past. That means I traveled to Paris in May. That's why I have used this as viaje. Viaje a Paris en mayo. Okay. The next example is en julio vamos a la playa. So beach we call it as playa in Spanish. Playa. Okay. So in July we go to the beach if you want to say. So you will use en julio vamos a la playa. En julio vamos a la playa. En julio vamos a la playa. We go to the beach. Vamos a la playa. En julio. In July we go to the beach. And the last example which I have jotted down for you guys is en junio es verano. Verano means summer. So in June it's summer means en junio es verano. So verano is the word for summer. Okay, so these 5 examples I have jotted down for you guys. You can also try at home. First you can listen to my video what all months we will call out in Spanish, and after that just try to frame some sentences in Spanish, and in case you are finding any sort of difficulties in framing the sentences, then you can mention in my DM box and you can seek for any sort of help from my side. I am hoping that you like this session and you like this video. I will be soon coming with my next video. Until then, see you soon. Adios.